So guys, boom, welcome back to another episode of Juice Made TV. And as you guys know, the 2022 NBA lottery is officially over, and we officially know the top 30 picks, top 60 picks that are going to be selected by NBA teams for this up and coming 2022 NBA draft. I want to know your top 5 picks in this 2022 NBA draft. I know a lot of people are saying that this class is only a 3-player draft with Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, and Paolo Banchero, but I'm telling you, this class as a whole has a lot of dynamic players that I feel like can actually help and benefit many NBA teams out there. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 players. Top 10 players according to NBADraftNet.com, who I personally feel like is definitely one of the best NBA mock draft sites out there. So we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 players in this class. And like I said, do not forget to comment below your top 5 picks, or who do you personally feel like is the best player in this 2022 NBA draft. And with all that being said, guys, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Join the free Discord down below. And with all that being said, guys, it's going to get straight into this video. Now guys, the Washington Wizards actually have the 10th pick in this draft, and according to NBA DraftNet, they do have TT Washington. I don't know if it's TT, I don't know if it's Ty. I see people pronounce this man's name in so many different ways, but we're going to be going with TT Washington. Now, for those who don't know who TT Washington is, I personally think that he had a pretty solid year for his freshman season at Kentucky. And if you guys do remember, whenever he was in high school playing for AZ Compass, a top prep school in the entire country in high school, I personally feel like he had a lot of high expectations coming into Kentucky. And like I said, I do think he had a pretty solid year. Nothing over the top, but he didn't underperform in my personal opinion. Just averaging about 12.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists on 45% shooting from the field. I do know one thing that a lot of people has been talking about, especially with TT Washington, is that sometimes he doesn't show up in some of these big games like Auburn, LSU. I know they did beat Kansas, but he still only finished with about 2 points in that game. I'll probably pop it up on the screen and probably highlight some of his notable games that he probably should have played better in. But like I said, just going 1 for 9 against Kansas. I know there were a few games that he just did not show up in, but despite all that, I feel like you can definitely see the potential in TT Washington. He showed a ton of potential throughout the entire year. I'm personally not mad that he's a top 10 pick or a top 10 mock draft pick in this 2022 NBA draft. Now guys, the San Antonio Spurs officially have the 9th pick in this 2022 NBA draft, and according to NBADraftNet.com, they actually have AJ Griffin from Duke going at the number 9 spot in this draft. Now, for those who don't know who AJ Griffin is, like I said, he did play for Duke. It's honestly crazy that he's actually one of the few players that I've actually seen already getting boom or bust comparisons and conversations of if this man is going to be a bust or a great player in the league. You watch this video, do you personally feel like AJ Griffin is going to be a bust in the NBA? Do you think he's going to be a good role player in the NBA? Do you think he's going to be a star? I want to know your opinions on AJ Griffin. I do know that he is from Dallas, Texas, so anybody from the city I gotta support. I definitely feel like he has the size. I definitely feel like he has an NBA build already to play in the league. I think it's just the tools and tangibles that it's going to be the question of if it is going to translate, you know, in the NBA. I know the defense for sure is going to translate, but his offense, that's definitely something I know is a question for a lot of NBA scouts and a lot of people out there. I do know he averaged around 10 points a game as well as 4 rebounds and 50% from the field, which is pretty solid in my opinion. But like I said, I want to know your opinions on AJ Griffin. So guys, the New Orleans Pelicans officially have the 8th pick in this draft. I do know that they actually have this pick from the Los Angeles Lakers, and with that selection, according to NBA DraftNet, they actually have Shaedon Sharpe going number 8 in this draft. Now, in my personal opinion, I do personally feel like Shaedon Sharpe is the dark horse in this draft. I do feel like he could either be the biggest star in this draft or he can be a complete bust, solely on the fact that he hasn't played, you know, meaningful basketball since July of 2021 for Peach Jam. So I do know there's a lot of questions and concerns about his motor, and also if he's a safe pick, just because there was a lot of wishy-washy things going on whenever he was going to Kentucky. One thing you just cannot deny, he's super skilled, he has a ton of upside, super athletic. I'm personally a believer. I know he hasn't played in a meaningful game in over a year, but despite all that, I definitely feel like Shaedon Sharpe is definitely a player that you just have to pull the trigger on, and you have to take him as a top 10 pick in this draft. But what do you guys actually think about Shaedon Sharpe going number? So guys, boom, the Portland Trailblazers, they have the 7th pick in this draft, and according to NBA DraftNet, they do say that Johnny Davis is going to be the 7th pick in this draft. Now, first and foremost, I'm a huge fan of Johnny Davis. I just like how he's a prototypical NBA wing. I mean, 6'5", he can score the ball with the best of them, averaging close to 20 points in college as a sophomore. I personally think he's a professional scorer with a huge bag. You know, the efficiency can definitely improve, but just knowing that he went from averaging 7 points his freshman year and only starting 1 game in his freshman year to where he's at now, averaging 20 points a game and also leading Wisconsin to the NCAA tournament, we got to give him credit where credit is due. I'm telling you, any team, any player, any team that decides to draft this man Johnny Davis, they're definitely getting a professional scorer and a great piece that I know will, you know, translate smoothly in the NBA. So guys, the Indiana Pacers officially have the 6th pick in this draft. And according to NBA DraftNet, they do have Benedict Mathurin. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. They do have him going number 6 overall in this draft. Now, I will say that Benedict was pretty solid. He was pretty great. Honestly, had one of the best years so far in my personal opinion. I think he was great all year, but specifically March Madness, in my personal opinion, that's where I feel like he definitely made a name for himself, and he definitely made that huge jump for being in the conversation for a top 5 to 8 player, you know, in this draft. Just looking at his play style, super aggressive, unguardable, can score in a multitude of ways. This man is as aggressive as it comes, and just the way that he can get to the free throw line and actually make free throws, I'm a huge fan. 6'6", averaging 17 and 5 on 45% from the field. This guy is definitely a dog. He has that dog in him. You're not going to question this dude's motor. Shout out to the whole country of Canada. Shout out to Benedict, and I definitely feel like he's going to be a great player in the NBA. So guys, boom, the Detroit Pistons have the 5th pick in this draft, and Keegan Murray is a player that people are projecting to go number 5. Now, I definitely feel like he's in the conversation of most improved players of the year, also going from 7 points to finishing 4th overall in scoring, averaging close to 24 points a game, while also shooting 55% from the field and damn near close to 40% from 3. Guys, I can go on and on. This man literally improved on every single category that you can think of. That's exactly what I personally want to see if I'm an NBA GM or an NBA scout or a person deciding on who I'm exactly going to be drafting. You're definitely not going to question his motor or his ability to stay in the gym. You know the type of player that he's going to be getting, the size, the tools, the tangibles. I definitely feel like he's going to be a great fit for the Detroit Pistons if he does land on that team. The Sacramento Kings officially have the 4th pick in this draft. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be doing with this pick. I'm not sure if they're going to be trading for another star. I'm not sure if they're going to be actually taking this player at number 4. But Jaden Ivey is the player that is projected to go number 4 in this draft, which is where the Sacramento Kings land. Now, it's honestly crazy that Jaden Ivey was honestly in the conversation as going number 1 in this draft a few weeks ago, a few months ago. I'm personally not mad at that. I mean, I know he has drawn a ton of comparisons to players like John Morant with his athletic ability and his scoring ability, but despite his form, it's honestly crazy that I had questions about his shooting ability. And like I said, I did mention his form, just the way that he shoots the ball and puts the ball in the hole. You know, you honestly just cannot be mad at that. And I'm not mad that he's the top 5 selection in this draft. I definitely feel like he leads the pack of the 2nd tier type of guys in this draft behind Paolo, Chet, and Jabari. But definitely shout out to Jaden Ivey. I definitely like the upside, and any team that is going to be getting Jaden Ivey, they're definitely going to be getting a star player in the future, in my personal opinion. So guys, boom, I'm not even gonna waste your time. We already know the top 3 players that are most likely going to be getting drafted in this draft, and that is Paolo Banchero, Jabari Smith, and Chet Holmgren. Now, you watching this video, I want to know who you personally would select as the number 1 pick, choosing from these 3 players, Paolo, Chet, and Jabari. I definitely feel like all 3 of these guys are definitely in the same tier, but in my personal opinion, I do think that Jabari Smith and Paolo Banchero, those are the 2 safest picks in my personal opinion. Speaking solely on Paolo Banchero. I do think he's a very safe pick since he's the most NBA ready out of the three. As far as skill wise and body wise, Jabari Smith, he's definitely in that conversation too. But I do know just the last game that he had whenever he played Miami, going 3 for 16 from the field, I definitely know that that drew a ton of questions about how good of a player that he really is. But you definitely cannot deny the skill set and just how dominant of a player that he is and just how he was dominating throughout the entire season. He's definitely NBA ready in my personal opinion, and I don't care what nobody says. This is my firm belief in this draft. I definitely feel like he's gonna be the best player whenever it's all said and done coming out of this draft class. But like I said, that's just my personal opinion. As far as Chet Holmgren, you know, I definitely have questions about his size, his body frame. I will say that out of the three players, Chet Holmgren, I definitely feel like he's the best pick for the Orlando Magic, who does have that #1 pick. I mean, I just feel like with just his play style, the Magic's play style, you definitely cannot pass up on a guy like Chet Holmgren. And also with the potential and the upside that he does have if he does manage to stay healthy, as well as building his strength as well. You know, he could end up being like a Giannis with just the way that he can dribble the ball, shoot the ball, handle the ball, just doing all those types of things. Chet Holmgren is definitely going to be a good player in my personal opinion. But like I said, there's just a few questions that I have if he can stay healthy. But guys, like I said, that's just my personal opinion. I want to know your opinion on this entire NBA mock draft. I want you to drop down below your top 5 players in this draft, top 10, the best player in this class, anything NBA draft mock related. Just comment down below. Let's get a great basketball conversation started. If you guys want more college videos just like this, make sure to smash that like button and comment down below as well. Like I said, I will be dropping a shade and start video tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, with all that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to smash the like button, do what you need to do. And yeah, with all that being said, guys, thank you for watching. And it's been another episode of Juice Made TV. Peace.